Good afternoon. This is working very well. I am Gil Cedillo. I am chair. This is the Immigrant Affairs, Civil Rights, and Equity Committee. I'm joined by my colleagues, Mr. Curran Price, Senator Price, by my colleague Nuri Martinez, and by Dr. David Rue. And so we have a quorum. I think we're starting with public comments. Is that correct, Mr. Chavez? So,
committee chair, is this 1 minute public comment?
1 minute public comment. Okay, who's got the speakers list? Okay, so here we go. Is Wayne here? Wayne's not here. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Wayne, please join us. I have Amanda Schrift, Harry Becker-Wood, Mariana Magana, Rob Kwan is here, and Shannon Camacho, and Talia Inlander.
Is this on the items, or?
Sure.
How much time total, including the items?
We're doing a minute.
For the entire meeting?
1 and 1, sir.
So what isn't it 2 and 1?
1 and 1, sir. 2 minutes.
All right. I don't know how you're doing this. So let's get over to Nuri's favorite commission, the Commission on Status of Cunts. So you see, we know that Nuri, the evil in the room, of course, put in Mrs. Weezar on that commission. And who had to tell the city about why that was a bad fucking idea, right?
So focus on the
that's
appointees.
What we're doing. Mrs. Weezar had to go and get that appointment because she got access to any city employee filing a discrimination claim. She wanted to be in there to tap those keyboards to find out hubby cheating. See, that's the problem here.
So you have
status on the Commission of Women. That's bullshit.
Mr. Wayne, be focused on the item in
front
front of us.
What about status on the Commission of Men? The men are the goddamn victims here. It's not the women. You can't do nothing with American women. You get married, they don't use your last name. Your husband's Guzman, she don't want to use the name Guz. She wants to use her own fucking name. You have a kid, she doesn't want to stay home and take care of the kid. She doesn't want to take out the trash.
So you
she
want to be focused on
the foods.
Content.
So how the fuck is a man supposed to live in this country? That's a civil right.
So
The
men
men don't get civil rights. The men don't get civil rights. Your own son, Gil, he had to get divorced.
I need you to
His
focus
woman
your
would not
sir.
stay home. You even told your daughter-in-law,
I need you to
stay
focus your
home
comments,
and
sir.
take care of my granddaughters. Please. She
comments,
says,
sir.
no, fuck you, Gil. I'm going to be in politics.
So you're off
That's
subject,
what
sir.
it is, Gil.
You're off
The
subject,
civil rights is being violated by me and you. The men need a status on the Commission of Men. Let's have a status on the Commission of Men.
So
and
thank you for
finally,
your contributions today. Okay, let's elevate the conversation. Amanda Schrift.
Hold on, your mic's not on. Can you turn on her mic?
Ready? My name is Amanda Scheft. I'm a managing attorney at Immigrant Defenders Law Center. I'm here in support, again, for the Los Angeles Justice Fund. All of us who are here to advocate on behalf of the Justice Fund, we're hoping that that would be an agenda item today. As you know, our last information that we heard was that there was a need to see the VEER report, which has since come out with very positive findings on the Los Angeles Justice Fund. We will continue our advocacy, you know, here and with all of your offices in the coming weeks and months, while continuing to provide high-quality representation to all of our clients who are members of the city and the county. Some of my colleagues who are here today are going to continue and highlight some of the successes that were included in the report.
Amanda, thank you. We share your concerns, your sense of urgency, and your commitment to both the substantive and qualitative representations that we're going to provide.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shannon Camacho, and I work with the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, CHIRLA. Specifically, I'm a campaign coordinator, and I coordinate our LA Rates Rapid Response Network. And like Amanda was mentioning, the VERA report has come out, and there are a lot of details about the successes and the need for the Justice Fund to be renewed. I can say that it is very difficult to make sure that folks get representation, especially when they're detained. So some of the highlights from the report, as of March 31st, 2019, LA Justice Fund legal service providers have accepted a total of 375 clients, and that includes for legal consultation and referrals, and from which 88% of those cases remain open. Out of the completed cases, 44% have had successful outcomes, allowing the client to stay in the United States, and that is very good compared to the unrepresented cases nationwide of less than 5%. 58% of the clients represented by LAJF have lived in the United States for more than a decade, which really shows just how necessary it is to renew this fund to protect immigrants in Los Angeles. Thank you.
We share your concerns and your commitments, and we look forward to moving this process as quick as possible. Mr. Kwan?
Rob Kwan, I'm also here to ask this committee to schedule consideration of the LA Justice Fund at its next meeting. We have the VERA report, and we can see, as was mentioned just now, 44% of completed cases that have successful outcomes. That number is nearly 10 times the national average of unrepresented cases. The LA Justice Fund has an impact both inside and outside the courtroom. Service providers are on the front lines on a regular basis. Attorneys are able to identify and expose inhumane conditions at Adelanto. I just want to emphasize, 60%, close to 60% of clients have been in the U.S. for over 10 years. They have deep roots. This goes beyond the courtroom. We need this committee to step up and renew its commitment to the LA Justice Fund and give strong consideration of the ways it can be improved upon, specifically ensure that funds are spent more efficiently and equitably by making the LA Justice Fund universal in representation and opening up the residency requirements. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Kwan, we share your concerns and particularly our desire to make it most efficient and effective. And we look forward to moving it as soon as possible.
My name is Mariana Magaña, and I'm also here with the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, also known as CHIRLA. We know last we spoke with the Budget Committee, the CA report was being produced, and it's currently in its final stages. And we know that was also called for the members to have right before making decisions. However, we want to emphasize that the VERA report is also out, which was, I know, another key point in the decision-making process as to whether this fund would be renewed. Unfortunately, not all of our partner organizations can make it today, but I do want to read the name of a few of the orgs who have signed on and who have called for the renewal of the fund, which includes Carecen, Esperanza Community Housing, UCLA Labor Center, LA LGBT Center, One Justice, ACU SoCal, Loyola Law School, Southwestern Law School, CIPC, NOC, Andelon, NOG, Ground Game, Salef, and many more. All your respective staff have received LAJF CCF Quarter 5 report and a summary of it, and I will follow up with the VERA report and a summary of it today as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We share your concern. Thank you for bringing this to us.
Good afternoon. My name is Talia Inlander. I'm the supervising attorney at Public Counsel for our LA Justice Fund team. This summer, we won the release of Antonio Serrano, a decades-long LA resident with 4 U.S. citizen children. He's the sole remaining parent as their mother died of cancer. Without our Justice Fund attorney on the ground at Adelanto, the sole remaining detention facility in the LA area, Antonio would have had to face an immigration judge alone and likely lost, as 95% of unrepresented respondents do. This committee has taken on the charge of leading on immigration issues for the city, yet its signature immigration program, the LA Justice Fund, is in significant jeopardy with zero commitment of city dollars, despite its November 2019 expiration date. The first year of the Bureau report is out and confirms what we already know. The LA Justice Fund is saving lives, families, and communities across LA. We ask that the city live up to its ideals, that it renew and expand its commitment to the Justice Fund.
We thank you for your testimony. We share your concerns. We also would like to have the most efficient and effective representation possible for all immigrants, and we thank you for joining us this afternoon. Next item.
Item number 1, Committee Chair is a communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of Ms. Marianne Czar to the Commission on the Status of Women for the term ending June 30th, 2024. Ms. Czar's current term expired on June 30th, 2019.
We'd like the commissioners to please join us. Are the nominees?
Do you want to take all reappointments at this
The
time for
women's
Commission on the
commissioners.
Status of Women?
Yes.
So that includes then item number 2, Ms. Jessica Postigo. Item number 3, Ms. Marla Messing, I believe, is not available today, and Ms. Ana Teresa Dahan.
Anna, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Please tell us. Oh, we have two Annas. Anna, please tell us about what you're going to do for us and all the great things that we can expect.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. Being born and raised in Los Angeles and a woman, it's an honor to be on this commission and to be able to highlight the positives and the challenges that we face in the city and work with my colleagues to, make sure there's equality for all in our city.
Thank you. Ms. Jessica.
Thank you for this opportunity. For the past 5 years, I have been with the Women's Commission. I think I'm the longest standing commissioner as of now. It has been quite an honor. I have worked in issues ranging from female homelessness on LASA's ad hoc Female Homelessness Committee, where we did policy recommendations that have been implemented. I have worked a lot on the issue of human trafficking very closely with LAPD's task force, and thanks to the support of Councilmember Martinez and Councilmember Rue, we launched a human trafficking awareness campaign. And because of the success of such campaign, we have been approached by LAPD to do a sexual assault campaign as well in terms of awareness. And I have been able to, because we are an unfunded commission, we have become a very resourceful commission. And thanks to the support of other council members, we are able to put these campaigns forth. This new campaign, we would also love to count on the support of council members as well. But we also, I have brought on board the Rape Treatment Center as our partner to ensure wider distribution of the campaign. I would love to show you the campaign as it has just come in, the first deck of it, and love your input early on. But I also would like to put out the offer to this committee to use us as a resource in wanting to raise awareness on certain issues. And please put us, bring a challenge. We really welcome it, and we would love to always further our involvement with the different council districts. Thank you.
Ms. Martinez, questions, comments, direction? Yes, I'm sorry. Marion, please.
Hello, thank you for having us here today. I want to say that as an immigrant myself, it's actually quite an honor for me to be here at this committee meeting in particular, and it has been an honor for the last 2 years to serve on the City Commission on the Status of Women. This is my first renewal, so thank you for having me. My areas of focus over at the Commission have been female homelessness, something I worked on before I got onto the Commission, have tried to work on since. In fact, I just spoke to some people this morning to see if we could put a focus on female homelessness and get some funding for bridge housing, this particularly for women in various districts across the land and across the city. And my compliments to you, Councilmember Ryu, for pushing yours through. I helped rewrite the bylaws and clean them up a little bit after years when I first was appointed onto the commission. I helped draft a letter to the national soccer team, which won its 4th Cup title this year, just to let them know that the City of Los Angeles supports them and all of the ideals that they stand for. It's been an honor to work with the other women on the commission. You just got a glimpse of how wonderful they are and how remarkable each of them are, as evidenced by the longest standing member, Jessica Postigo, who was actually president when I was appointed. So thank you for welcoming me, Jessica. And it's been a pleasure. I look forward to continuing to do some important work and keeping up focus on female homelessness, which really is a unique circumstance for women. I think being homeless is already terrible. Being female while experiencing homelessness brings into it a whole new set of complicated layers And I think if we don't focus on it and try to address female homelessness as a city, it really is a pall. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your interest in the question of homeless women. And I know you're anticipating the opening in Mr. Rue's district, but we opened a women's shelter a few months ago in my district at 2601 West 3rd Street. It's called Casa Azul, and I invite you to come and visit.
I would like to. Thank
so
you.
that you can see the work that we're doing in our district.
I think it would be helpful for other districts if there were models that we could present and then go out and get funding. I've spoken to a few people. I understand that there's some discretionary funding within the city that can be used. So I think if there are workable models, there are definitely places where our advocacy can make a difference. And essentially, the Women's Commission is an advocacy tool for the city. So let's use it in partnership with you guys.
We'd love for you to come and join us. Ms. Martinez?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, thank you very much, ladies, for being here this afternoon. I really am glad to see you all continuing the good work and continuing to advocating for women's rights throughout our city. In every single community throughout our great city is important, and I'd like to see that being reflected on our commissions, of which I think the mayor's done an excellent job in, and I'm happy to see Jessica up for the challenge again. And Miriam, thank you for continuing to serve, and I'm just so thrilled to see my good friend Anna Dahan. As I was mentioning to our chair, I've known her for many, many years, and he talked about working with you when you were a young student at Belmont High School. So your roots in LA go way back, native of Echo Park. She's chosen to raise her family here and continues to give back. And I'm just very honored to call her my dear friend. So congratulations. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Councilmember
Mr.
Martinez,
Ryu?
if we could just point out your history and the impact that you've had on the city and also the inspiration that you offer to girls and women across the city. I mean, I probably know you least out of everyone up here, but to the extent that I've heard you tell your story, it's inspirational and impressive, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
You took the words out of my mouth. I think even
Thank you.
more than hearing your story, it's seeing what you do.
Thank
Just
you.
walking the halls of the bridge, and every single piece of I think every woman who takes a step forward in Los Angeles owes you a thank you.
We have a lot more to do.
Yes. Yes.
Keep your voice.
Thank you.
Mr. Ryu?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to rise and make sure to applaud and thank all of their former and new commissioners on serving on this very important commission. And I just want to point out, Jessica Postigo is not only the former president of the commission, but a Council District 4 resident. And I also want to highlight that the current president is still a Council District 4 constituent, Jackie Fila, who is also a Council District 4 resident, and also Miriam Czar, who might not be a District 4 resident, but she's in my district so much, we work on so many issues together that we take her as one of our own. Thank you so very much for all of your works. And of course, the new Commissioner, Anna Dahan, you have big shoes to fill. It's a very active commission, very little resources, but this commission makes miracles happen. You know, whether it's sex trafficking issues or homeless issues, to basic equal pay issue. This is one of the probably best and important commission that the mayor has commissioned and takes personal pride in, and that's what we also do as well. And we're so happy of your service and your continued service, and thank you so very much.
Thank you. Mr. Price, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do, for the encouragement, the inspiration, and leadership that you've shown, really citywide, dealing with a variety of issues and a variety of concerns that impact not just women, but sometimes especially women. And so we thank you for your service. In the 9th District, certainly more than half of the activists, folks I hear from, are women who are concerned about their families, their kids, their communities. And so they have a very strong voice in the 9th District. In fact, more than half of my staff, both at City Hall and in the district office, I'm proud to say, are females. And they provide leadership on a constant basis. Our office has the opportunity to recognize women in a couple of ways. We have an annual Latina conference. As a matter of fact, it's coming up next month, where it's an opportunity to expose young and older women to opportunities, inspiration, information that is so very, very important as they move forward. And later on in the month, October, we're going to be recognizing sheroes. And again, this is our opportunity to acknowledge the role that unsung women play in our community, the crossing guard, the cook, the PTA worker, women who don't get a lot of recognition but who provide a great deal of support and encouragement. And so CD9 is certainly appreciative, respective, and excited about the leadership of women in our community and the leadership that you're going to provide as well. And then lastly, Mr. Chairman, let me just point out that dealing with this homeless, our homeless problem is something that just encompasses all of us. And so I'm very proud to support a shelter program going to be run focusing on homeless female veterans and their kids at a facility on Hoover and Adams, Casa de las Rosas, former facility. But again, these are the kinds of resources I think are very important as we strive to meet the needs of all of our citizens, but especially highlighting the unique role, the unique obstacles and opportunities exist when we engage our female citizens in a way that is important, is meaningful, and that is respectful. So we look forward to your continued leadership, all three, and I look forward to working with you personally. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, and I look forward to visiting your shelter, Hoover and Adams. If the committee has no further questions, I want to move that we recommend the appointments and the reappointments of the candidates for the Commission on the Status of Women. Second? No objections? So be the order. Thank all of you.
Thank you.
We'll see you in City Council. Thank you.
They were all read.
We have items 5 through 11. We have one more public comment.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Mindy Garland, and I'm representing the LA Black Workers Center. We're here to support the starting of the Civil and Human Rights Commission. As you all know, for years, our members have fought for this commission because discrimination is running rampant in LA. We talk to members, and a lot of our members, 50% of Black LA people are either unemployed or underemployed, so discrimination is a huge problem. And so this commission is needed to bring much justice, transparency, and protection for Black workers, for women, and for all vulnerable communities in Los Angeles. So we look forward to seeing the Civil and Human Rights Commission championing discrimination protection so that LA is a sanctuary city for all. So thank you.
Thank you. Now we have items 5 through 11, I believe.
Yes, Committee Chair, the items 5 through 11 is a communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Mr. Gideon Krakow to the Civil and Human Rights Commission for the term ending June 30, 2024, Mr. Keith S. Parker for the term ending June 30, 2022, Ms. Aziza Hassan for the term ending June 30, 2024, Ms. Abigail Zelensky for the term ending June 30, 2023, Ms. Helene Marisa Montes for the term ending, June 30, 2023, Ms. Megan Ortiz for the term ending June 30, 2022, and Ms. Susie Jack for the term ending June 30, 2024.
Mr. Krakow, why don't you start and tell us how you got involved in politics?
I owe it all to the chair, Cedillo. Yes. Chair and members Martinez, Price, and Ryu. I've had the opportunity to know and be mentored by the chair for about 20 years, and the chair has so many accomplishments in his career, and I think establishing this commission along with the other members of the committee and the mayor is certainly a remarkable one, and I want to applaud you folks and your staff for this, and congratulations, and I know we're all excited to be here today.
I was just joking. Susie Jack.
Chairman Cedillo and honorable members, thank you for having us here today. I began my career in public service as part of the city family here, working for former Mayor Villaraigosa as part of his education, youth, and families team, as his LGBTQ advisor and liaison, and later as deputy mayor of legislative affairs. And had the great privilege of working with the city team and many current and former council members on a variety of discrimination issues related to the LGBTQ community, both within and outside the city. And it would be my honor to continue to serve and work on issues of discrimination across the spectrum. And thank you all for your leadership in establishing this commission.
Mr. Parker, welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate this opportunity to continue to serve the city of Los Angeles. During my time at UCLA, I worked with all of you, council members, in my government relations role. But prior to taking that position, for 17 years, I worked in staff affirmative action at UCLA and served as the affirmative action officer for 6 of those years, which meant I was involved in discrimination complaints resolution with compliance with state and federal equal opportunity laws and statutes, and really feel happy and honored to have an opportunity to go back to that work that I used to do on behalf of the city. I can't think of anything more important, particularly in the environment that we are in today as a country, to have a serious voice around the issues of discrimination and to look at how we not only resolve those issues, not only how we prevent those issues, but how we educate our community so that those issues don't exist in the future for our children.
Thank you. Ms. Ortiz.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. First of all, yes, I'm grateful to be considered for this commission. I am not a politician. I'm an organizer at heart. I began as an organizer as a 16-year-old teenager when I saw violence against Puerto Rican community members where I grew up in Queens as the daughter of migrant Puerto Ricans. And here in Los Angeles for the last 6 years, I've had the honor of working at the Instituto de Educación Popular del Sur de California, IDEPSCA, organizing and educating with day laborers and household workers. So really continuing that work, ensuring that when we talk about human and civil rights, we're not just talking about things that are obvious human and civil rights. I think it's a term that unfortunately has gotten watered down and is overused. I know with my colleague Mindy from the Black Worker Center, the Los Angeles Worker Center Network, the California Domestic Worker Coalition, these are all partnerships that I really value, and I believe in coalition work and in community work in order to uplift and really try to challenge what that notion is of human and civil rights. And I think especially since this is a new commission, I think it's going to be really important for us to challenge and push also a little bit, as much as we're allowed to within the constraints of our commission, to really look at the issues of wage theft, discrimination, violence against our community members, but also look at how the issues of education, houselessness are also included under that.
Thank you. Elena Marisa.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon to the members of the committee. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is, I go by my middle name, Marisa Montes, and I am a proud Californian, immigrated to the United States when I was 2, proud Angelino, and proud resident of Boyle Heights. In addition to that, I am a professor at Loyola Law School, and I'm also the co-founder and co-director of the Loyola Immigrant Justice Clinic, a community-based clinic that provides services specifically to the community of Boyle Heights and East LA in partnership with Homeboy Industries and Dolores Mission. In addition to providing direct services, I also teach law students with the hope that we'll be educating and promoting social justice attorneys. Besides just providing direct services to Angelinos, we're also really highly involved locally and nationally when it comes to advocacy work. In addition to my role as a professor, I also serve on the California Department of Justice CalGang Technical Advisory Committee, where I had the opportunity to assist in drafting regulations to hopefully not violate the rights of individuals who were wrongfully classified as gang members. In this role, I also had the opportunity to not only work with community members, but also law enforcement with the hope of building and establishing community trust for the purposes of promoting public safety. I'm really excited about this opportunity to serve on this commission. The issue of civil and human rights is something that is personal to me due to my own story and that of my family's. And I really hope that in this position, if I'm allowed to move forward, I can continue my role as being a community-based public servant that really responds to the needs of LA residents. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Asisa?
Good afternoon, and thank you for considering my appointment. My whole career has been focused on bridge building between different communities. I come from a mixed family background. I'm married to a man who's very different from who I am. And I'm raising two boys who were born in Los Angeles. Their future matters. Their future matters a whole lot. And in a city where we speak more than 220 languages, it is inevitable that our diversity can both be our strength and our weakness. And the career that I have built focuses on bringing together Muslims and Jews so that we can really address the differences and the implicit biases that lie between us and within us. And I know that building a container and a process that people can know and rely on is very critical and important in terms of building confidence and being able to work through those disagreements and conflict. And that's why I'm very interested in being part of this commission. It's also part of I helped establish Pluralism Day here at Los Angeles City Hall, and I continue to champion it. And I think that if we really do value pluralism and diversity, then we have to have a solid system of redress for people.
Thank you. Abigail?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today, and I'm honored to be nominated to this inaugural commission. I think you can learn a little bit more about me from the reasons why I would like to join this commission. First, the issues of diversity and equal treatment have always been very important to me. I'm an immigrant, I'm a woman, and I was raised in a low-income family. I understand the benefits of laws like the newly enacted Civil and Human Rights Ordinance. I'm a citizen who stands to actually be protected by an ordinance like this. In furtherance of the promotion of diversity, I've spent the past 20 years volunteering on various Asian American and Filipino American service boards that serve the constituents of the city of LA. Second, I believe I'm well suited for this commission. I've been practicing employment law for the past 16 years. I've dealt firsthand with the victims of harassment and discrimination, employees who have been demoted, fired, and treated poorly for statuses that they cannot change. With my legal training, I've been able to spot issues of discrimination and harassment, advocate for those who have been discriminated against, and create policies for the protection of workers. This commission has powerful tools that I believe that we can all use to address issues of discrimination, and I think we would wield that power appropriately and thoughtfully. Third and finally, I'm a proud Angelino, and I'd like to respond to this call to serve my community. I have roots in the city of Los Angeles. I graduated from USC as an undergrad and UCLA for law school. From 2012 to 2014, I served on my Silver Lake Neighborhood Council, where I addressed and listened to issues that affected my neighbors. I would be honored to serve the city of Los Angeles again, especially in a commission that brings together my background in the law and my work with victims of discrimination and harassment. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, first of all, let me just thank you for your leadership and your guidance with my colleagues as we discuss the creation of this body and as we're seeing it unfold. I think it's something that we all have been looking forward to for a long period of time. And to the inaugural commission members, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your willingness to serve and stepping up to the plate at a critical time in our nation's history and in our city's history. And as I read through the bios and heard your statements, I was struck how similar they were. You all have been engaged in collaborating and working together and encouraging dialogue in your various spheres. And I think those are the kinds of qualities that are so very, very important in this commission. So I'm excited that you're going to be a part of shaping it, providing a voice, providing an opportunity to explore issues in a much deeper, more meaningful way, and helping us as policymakers just do the right thing and make the right decisions as it impacts all the citizens that we represent. So again, thank you. Thank you for your service and your willingness to serve.
Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you all for being here this afternoon. Mr. Chair, as you know, we've been working on this for quite some time now. It's been a very long time coming. Like everything else that we do around here, I think it takes way too long. But we're finally here, and I'm really eager to get to work. I think for me, looking over your bios, there's no question you're some of the most amazing individuals doing your respective, in your respective professions, and I have no doubt that you will add incredible depth through the commission. We don't have to read the paper or watch TV to know that our communities are under attack. I think all of us represent segments of this community that have been under attack for quite some time now, and people are desperate to be listened to and to be heard. And so there's going to be really high expectations for this commission moving forward. I am a little concerned in terms of what it would take in terms of staffing you correctly. I think I've made this point before in terms of how quickly can we listen to complaints, hear them, and expedite them, and get back to individuals to ensure that their complaints have been thoroughly vetted and that people have answers to their complaints. I think it's part of all our responsibility collectively as members of this committee to ensure that you are being staffed correctly and the commission is staffed correctly, so that it's not something that people are seeing as a waste of time, which I'm always very concerned with. So that's upon us to make sure that you are, staffed correctly, but nevertheless, there's very high expectations, and I really look forward to working with all of you. I think it's a long time coming, and like I often say, let's get to work, because there's a lot of people that need our help. Thank you very much for serving.
So, let me congratulate all of you. I'm very happy, again, as my colleagues have indicated, and I want to thank the mayor for gathering such a talented group of leaders from our community. You are reflective of the diversity of the city. Your values, your vision, are values and vision that's shared by this committee and by the mayor, and all of us are in concert with that. What I'd like to say about this committee is that this is institutionalizing the resistance that takes place here in California, the resistance to the Trump agenda, the Trump administration, and the general climate of hostility, of fear, of hate, of discrimination that is pervasive in our society during these time periods. None of us are sheltered by it. None of us are shielded by it. And so this committee is basically that body. You are here to help shield the citizens, the residents, the people who live here in the city of Los Angeles, those who visit, from that atmosphere and from those acts. And so, as my colleague indicated, how you do that and how we enable you to do that is on us, and it's on the budget and our commitment to a budget that gives you the resources to make this the most effective body in defense of human and civil rights that this nation has. It's an extremely, extremely critical time period. Our commitment's measured by our budget and by our time. Governance is much more challenging than advocacy. They both have their roles, but you have moved from being effective and necessary advocates to now institutionalizing this advocacy into governance that must respond to all the people of the city of Los Angeles. And so it's an incredible challenge. It's an awesome challenge. It's a moment in which the world will look at what we were doing during this time period. And so I applaud all of you. I welcome all of you. I know that you are committed. I know that you are tenacious. I hope that you share with our discomfort with the need for patience, because government moves Not never as fast as we would like it, but that is the choice and challenge that we have taken. And so we embrace you, we applaud you, and I would like to move forward that we recommend all the nominees for their positions as the inaugural Commission on Human and Civil Rights for the City of Los Angeles. Second? No objection? Congratulations, and we'll see you at council. Thank you.
Thank you.
That, we have one item left.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have a fiscal year 2019 to 2020 adopted budget recommendation relative to instructing the Library Department to report on the location of libraries with new American centers and the need to expand the immigration assistance program based on need.
Okay. That's a motion?
This is a motion.
Public?
We have a representative here from the Library Department.
Please come up. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So, I'll just launch forth. My name is Eva Mitnick. I am the Director of the Engagement and Learning Division at the LA Public Library. And I was asked to give a report on the status of our New American Centers and our immigration integration services generally. So, just a little bit of background. We started this back in 2015, really working hard with USCIS and with many of our CBO partners. I think it was a really turbulent time. We had DACA and DAPA, we had AB 60, and lots of questions that we could answer for the community. So that's when we really revved our services up, not just around immigration, but also sort of services that immigrants needed to really integrate into LA. In 2017, we began offering welcome stations at every single one of our 73 libraries. These are stations offering forms and materials, AV materials, all kinds of information, sort of one-stop shopping for folks who are interested in the citizenship process. And we also began planning for our New American Centers, which first opened in January 2018 and are still going strong. We partner with a number of different organizations, including CHIRLA, IRC, AAAJ, many other organizations who provide us with immigration specialists. We actually contract with them, and they provide one-on-one free services in these centers. People can go on to our New Americans website, which is extremely robust and has a lot of information just in general, but they can actually make appointments for a number of different services, including N400 assistance, fee waivers, DACA renewals, green card renewals, and just a number of other services. At the moment, we do have 6 New American Centers. We are about to open our 7th at the Echo Park branch. It's actually the 19th, I believe, September 19th. It's really exciting. And we choose our branches and Central Library, of course, based on community need. In fact, we found out that the Echo Park community has over 24,000 Angelinos who are eligible for citizenship. That's one of the many reasons we chose Echo Park. We also have to look at capacity of our organizations, our partner organizations, the layout of the branch, because we need a private space for these one-on-one sessions to take place, staff capacity, and of course, funding is another important issue. We very excited about our newest center, and we're also building out our services at all of our libraries. We have citizenship classes at a number of libraries. We're deepening our ESL classes and offerings. We have financial literacy, and we're actually about to start working on some other legal issues around renters' rights, tenant rights, vending laws, and so on. Offering assistance and guidance.
I have a few questions, Mr. Chair. So how many libraries throughout our city did you say currently have the new American centers? Is it six?
Six.
Seven with the newest addition?
Exactly.
So where are there other opportunities to expand the new American centers for more libraries around the city to be able to provide these services?
There are quite a few other libraries that we think might be.
Any in the valley?
Actually, yes. We have one in Pacoima already, and we actually have pop-up locations at Woodland Hills Branch and Platt Branch, and that just sort of welled up from the community and organizations who serve those areas. So that's often actually how we start considering branches is.
Yeah, I would suggest that if you do have room to expand, that you look into communities like Panorama City and Van Nuys.
Sure.
Sort of the heart of the valley. They also happen to be communities that I represent. And so I can tell you just by representing my district that people are really scared.
Sure.
With this president changing decade-old policies that target our neighborhoods and the undocumented folks, I don't know how people are being reassured that these are safe places for them to seek services. So what does your engagement process look like to be able to get to the to communities to make sure that they feel safe even obtaining services at the local library?
In several different ways. We, of course, work with our partners who are always doing outreach on their own. We have bilingual outreach librarians in all 6 of our areas. We have six areas within the library system who go out on a regular basis. They pass out information about our services. We have Know Your Rights cards in, I think, 20 different languages, and really make it clear that the library is a safe place. We recently sent guidance to our staff internally on how they should react to for instance, ICE coming into libraries and so on. So we are making sure that we have as safe and welcoming a place as possible, and we do try to make the communities aware of that in every way possible.
Right. Yeah, I think that's important because I often see on social media people will post where they've either seen ICE or they know there is some sort of detention situation happening, and if it's nearby a library, which sometimes, unfortunately, we can't control that. A lot of people who access that library might look at that as a reason for not to want to enter a library. So if you are interested in expanding, I would love to work with you on this. And keep in mind the 2 communities that I just mentioned, because I think there's a real need for it, and I think you would be welcomed by the librarians there.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Price.
Thank you. I, too, wanted to say just thank you for this program. It's an exciting project. I certainly supported it when it came to the budget. Even at that time, I wanted to make sure that we did everything we could to protect these programs and to expand them, because I think expansion is very, very important. I know in South LA we've got one, I think, at Sarah, Sarah.
Yes.
But we could use others. We could use more. I think
Absolutely.
any opportunity we can provide a safe environment to get information, to receive it, to understand it is so very, very important. Let me just ask you, and you may have hit this earlier that I didn't hear, but how many constituents have we served with this program over this past year? And are we able to provide subsidies for these services, or are subsidies required? Or how are we operating this?
Sure.
And who do we have giving the workshops?
So the workshops are offered by a number of different partners depending on where in the city the branch happens to be. So IRC, which is International Rescue Committee, CHIRLA, Asian Americans Advancing Justice, COFEM, wow, there's a number of others now I'm completely blanking, but various partners throughout the city. And then in terms of numbers, we have, since we first opened the centers in January 2018, we have held 1,261 programs. We've had 4,278 one-on-one appointments. 3,290 folks came to the programs. And something I think is interesting is 69 calls came into our New Americans message line. We have a dedicated line with help available in several different languages, and that is one busy message line. We are answering it all day long.
Okay, well, continued success and keep us posted.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I think there's hardly anything more important than ensuring for the people of Los Angeles that there are places that are safe. As a city of sanctuary, and the libraries are obviously one obvious location where we should give people all full confidence that they can go there, receive services, both from the library and the citizenship services, and know that they can do that in absolute safety. And so I applaud you and the library for its leadership in this area. Without anything further, yes? Oh, welcome back, Mr. Wu. Thank you.
Good. I'm good. I'll hear it in my committee as well.
Okay. Mr. Wu has rejoined us, and we are ready, without any other comment, to move this item.
Yes.
Yes?
What is your recommendation to approve?
Yes. Any objection?
And
Without
just
objection?
for clarity, Mr. Chair, are you requesting that the library look at expanding into those two communities mentioned by committee
Yes.
member Martinez?
Obviously, six branches out of, how many branches is this?
We've got 73.
73?
Well, it's 7 because she's opening a new one.
Right, so that's 10%. And so obviously in a community like ours with so many languages spoken, a district like mine, which is, 80, 90% immigrant, both Asian and Latino, from the Philippines, Korea, China, and Vietnam, and then from Mexico, Guatemala, Salvador, and rest of Latin America. The need for this is a lot more pronounced than 10%, and so we should actually look at how we scale up to a number that's commensurate with the need that exists in the city. Okay?
Thank you.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
So
very
we move
much.
the matter. Objection? Without objection? So be the order. Is the desk clear?
Desk is clear.
Okay, thank you. Move to adjourn. Okay, thank you.